ISO 55001 Asset Management System AMS. Maximize asset value, optimize performance, drive sustainable business excellence. Hello everyone, welcome to URGS International Certification and Inspection Private Limited. Today we are going to discuss an increasingly important international management system standard, ISO 55001 Asset Management System. Organizations across the world invest billions in physical and other types of assets. These assets may include machinery, production equipment, buildings, electrical systems, power generation assets, pipelines, vehicles, transportation infrastructure, water and wastewater infrastructure, information and technology assets, and many other assets that are critical to business operations. But purchasing an asset is only the beginning. The real challenge is how do you maximize the value of that asset throughout its entire life cycle? How do you improve asset performance? How do you reduce unnecessary downtime? How do you manage maintenance costs? How do you identify asset related risks? How do you decide when an asset should be repaired, upgraded, replaced or retired? And how do you align asset related decisions with the organization's overall business objectives? This is where ISO 55001 Asset Management System becomes highly relevant. In this video, we will explain what ISO 55001 is, what an asset management system means, why asset management is important, who can benefit from ISO 55001, asset life cycle management, risk-based asset management, maintenance and performance, asset management objectives, data and information, competence and awareness, internal audit, management review, implementation steps, certification readiness, and how URGS International Certification and Inspection Private Limited can support your organization. So let us begin. Chapter 1. What is ISO 55001? ISO 55001 is an international standard that specifies requirements for an asset management system. The standard provides organizations with a structured approach to managing assets and obtaining value from those assets. But what exactly do we mean by an asset? An asset can be broadly understood as an item, thing, or entity that has potential or actual value to an organization. For an industrial organization, assets may include production machinery, transformers, generators, compressors, pumps, boilers, storage tanks, pipelines, vehicles, buildings, and infrastructure. For a utility organization, assets could include power networks, water treatment facilities, distribution networks, pumping stations, transmission infrastructure, and other critical infrastructure. For a transportation organization, assets could include rail infrastructure, bridges, stations, vehicles, signaling systems, road infrastructure, and related facilities. The objective of asset management is not simply to maintain assets. It is about making informed decisions throughout the asset life cycle to achieve organizational objectives. This means considering cost, performance, risk, reliability, availability, safety, compliance, sustainability, and long-term value. Chapter 2. What is an asset management system? An asset management system, or AMS, is a coordinated set of processes, policies, plans, responsibilities, and activities used by an organization to manage its assets. A common misunderstanding is asset management equals maintenance. But asset management is much broader than maintenance. Maintenance is an important part of asset management. However, asset management also involves decisions about asset selection, investment, design, procurement, installation, commissioning, operation, maintenance, modification, renewal, replacement, and eventual disposal or retirement. Imagine a company is planning to purchase a new production machine. A traditional approach may simply ask, how much does the machine cost? An asset management approach asks much more. What value will the machine provide? What is its expected life? What are its energy requirements? What will maintenance cost? How reliable is it? What spare parts are required? What are the operational risks? What happens if it fails? Is it compatible with existing systems? What will be its total life cycle cost? And when should it eventually be replaced? The broader perspective is at the heart of asset management. Chapter 3, why is asset management important? Let us now understand why effective asset management is important. First, asset performance. Organizations depend on assets to deliver products and services. Poor asset performance can directly affect production, service delivery, and customer satisfaction. Second, reliability and availability. Asset failures can lead to production stoppages, service interruptions, emergency repairs, customer complaints, safety risks, and financial losses. Effective asset management helps organizations to take a more systematic approach to reliability and availability. Third, cost optimization. The cheapest asset is not necessarily the most economical asset. Organizations should consider the total life cycle cost. This may include purchase cost, installation, energy, maintenance, spare parts, downtime, upgrades, training, disposal, and replacement. Fourth, risk management. Critical assets can create significant operational, financial, environmental, or safety risks if they fail. Asset management provides a structured way to identify and manage these risks. Fifth, better investment decisions. Organizations can use asset information, performance data, and risk analysis to support investment decisions. This can help management determine where resources should be allocated. Chapter 4, Asset Life Cycle Management. One of the most important concepts in asset management is the asset life cycle. An asset does not begin its life when it starts operating. Asset management decisions can begin much earlier. For example, stage 1, need identification. The organization identifies a business requirement. Do we need a new asset? Can an existing asset be optimized? Can another solution deliver the same outcome? Stage 2, planning and design. If a new asset is required, the organization considers performance requirements, reliability, safety, energy efficiency, maintainability, life cycle cost, and future operational requirements. Stage 3, procurement. The organization selects suppliers and equipment based on appropriate technical, commercial, and life cycle considerations. Stage 4, installation and commissioning. The asset is installed, tested, and brought into operation. Appropriate documentation and asset information should be established. Stage 5, operation. The asset performs its intended function. Performance should be monitored. Stage 6, maintenance. Maintenance strategies are developed based on asset criticality, risk, condition, manufacturer recommendations, and operational requirements. Stage 7, renewal or upgrade. As technology, operational requirements, or asset conditions change, the organization may upgrade or refurbish the asset. Stage 8, replacement or retirement. Eventually, the asset may reach the end of its useful or economical life. The organization must determine whether to continue operating, refurbish, replace, or retire the asset. This life cycle perspective helps organizations make better long-term decisions. Chapter 5, Asset Management Objectives and Planning. Effective asset management begins with organizational objectives. An organization should understand what are our strategic goals, what products or services do we provide, which assets are critical to achieving these goals, what level of performance is required, what risks are acceptable, and how should asset contribute to business value. Asset management objectives should be aligned with organizational objectives. For example, suppose a manufacturing company has a strategic objective to improve on-time delivery. Asset management may support this objective by focusing on equipment availability, production reliability, preventive maintenance, productive maintenance, spare parts availability, critical equipment monitoring, and reduction of unplanned downtime. Similarly, if a utility organization has a goal of improving service reliability, asset management objectives may focus on network reliability, asset condition, failure rates, emergency response, replacement planning, and risk reduction. This alignment between business objectives and asset management is extremely important. Chapter 6, Asset Risk Management. Risk management is a major component of effective asset management. Not every asset has the same level of importance. For example, consider two machines in a factory. Machine A produces a critical component and has no backup. Machine B is a low criticality auxiliary machine with a readily available replacement. If both machines fail, the consequences may be different. Therefore, organizations should identify asset criticality. Criticality can be evaluated using factors such as production impact, safety impact, environmental impact, financial impact, customer impact, regulatory impact, availability of alternatives, repair time, and failure probability. This allows organizations to prioritize resources, A highly critical asset may require more frequent inspection, condition monitoring, predictive maintenance, spare parts planning, redundancy, emergency response planning, and more detailed risk control. The objective is not to spend the same amount of money on every asset. The objective is to allocate resources according to risk, value, and business requirements. Chapter 7, Maintenance and Asset Performance. Maintenance is one of the most visible aspects of asset management. Organizations may use different maintenance strategies depending on asset characteristics and risk. Corrective maintenance. The asset is repaired after a failure or identified problem. Preventive maintenance. Maintenance is performed at planned intervals to reduce the probability of failure. Predictive maintenance. Predictive or condition-based maintenance. Maintenance decisions are based on actual condition or performance of the asset. This may involve vibration monitoring, thermography, oil analysis, ultrasonic inspection, electrical testing, performance monitoring, and other condition monitoring techniques. Reliability centered approaches. Organizations may also use structured reliability approaches to determine appropriate maintenance strategies for critical assets. The important is maintenance should be driven by asset performance, risk, and business requirements, not simply by habit. For example, replacing a component every 6 months may be unnecessary if condition monitoring demonstrates that the component remains fit for the service. Conversely, waiting for failure may be inappropriate for a critical asset where failure could create major consequences. Now, Chapter 8, Asset Information and Data Management. Good asset management requires good information. Organizations need reliable information about their assets. This may include asset identification, location, manufacturer, model, age, installation date, operating parameters, maintenance history, inspection history, failure history, condition, criticality, spare parts, costs, and performance data. Asset information may be managed using computerized maintenance management system, enterprise asset management systems, enterprise resource planning systems, digital asset registers, sensors, IoT platforms, condition monitoring systems, and other digital technologies. But technology alone does not guarantee effective asset management. The information must be accurate, relevant, available, protected, updated, and used for decision making. Poor asset data can lead to poor decisions. For example, if an organization does not know which assets are critical, it may allocate maintenance resources incorrectly. Therefore, asset information management should be an integral part of the asset management system. Chapter 9, Competence, Awareness, and Resources. Asset management depends heavily on competent people. Organizations need personnel who understand asset risk, maintenance requirements, operational requirements, inspection techniques, reliability, data management, risk assessment, financial considerations, and organizational objectives. Training should be appropriate to individual responsibilities. For example, maintenance personnel may need technical training, asset managers may need risk and life cycle management knowledge, engineers may need reliability and condition monitoring competence, management may need asset strategy and investment decision making awareness. Employees should also understand how their activities contribute to overall asset performance. Chapter 10, Monitoring, Internal Audit, and Management Review. And asset management should not simply be implemented and then forgotten. Organizations need to monitor performance. This may include indicators such as asset availability, reliability, failure frequency, maintenance cost, unplanned downtime, mean time between failures, mean time to repair, energy performance, asset condition, safety performance, and other relevant indicators. The organization should determine which performance indicators are meaningful for its objectives. Internal audits. Internal audits can evaluate whether the asset management system is properly implemented and maintained. Auditors may examine policies, asset management objectives, plans, risk assessments, maintenance records, asset information, competence, operational controls, performance monitoring, and improvement activities. Management review. Senior management should periodically review the performance of the asset management system. This can help ensure that asset management remains aligned with changing business requirements. Chapter 11, Control Improvement. A successful asset management system should continually improve. Organizations should learn from asset failures, maintenance results, inspection findings, audit results, customer feedback, operational incidents, cost trends, technology developments, and changes in business requirements. For example, if an asset repeatedly fails, the organization should not simply keep repairing it, management should ask, why is it failing? Is the maintenance strategy appropriate? Is the asset reaching the end of its life? Would replacement be more economical? Can the design be improved? Can operating conditions be changed? This is the difference between simply maintaining equipment and practicing strategic asset management. Now chapter 12, ISO 55001 implementation roadmap. So how can organization begin implementing ISO 55001? Let us look at a practical roadmap. Step 1, understand organizational objectives. Determine what the organization is trying to achieve and how assets support those objectives. Step 2, define the asset management scope. Identify relevant assets, locations, functions, and activities. Step 3, conduct a gap assessment. Evaluate existing asset management practices against ISO 55001 requirements. Step 4, develop the asset management policy. Establish management's commitment and overall direction. Step 5, identify asset management objectives. Define measurable objectives aligned with organizational goals. Step 6, develop asset management plans. Establish plans covering relevant asset life cycle activities. Step 7, conduct risk and criticality assessments. Identify critical assets and prioritize controls and resources. Step 8, establish asset information and performance monitoring. Ensure appropriate asset data is available for decision making. Step 9, develop competence and awareness. Means train personnel according to their responsibilities. Step 10, monitor and measure performance. Means establish meaningful asset management performance indicators. Step 11, conduct internal audits. Evaluate the effectiveness of the implemented systems. Step 12, management review and control improvement. Review performance, address weaknesses, and continuously improve. Once the system is effectively implemented and sufficient evidence is available, the organization can prepare for an independent certification assessment if certification is desired. Now chapter 13, common asset management challenges. Organizations often face asset management challenges such as poor asset data, incomplete asset registers, unclear asset ownership, reactive maintenance culture, insufficient risk assessment, poor maintenance planning, lack of asset criticality analysis, inadequate life cycle cost analysis, unplanned downtime, insufficient spare parts planning, weak performance monitoring, poor coordination between departments, and limited management involvement. ISO 55001 provides a structured framework to address these challenges and establish a more systematic approach. Now chapter 14, how URGS can support your ISO 55001 journey. At URGS International Certification Inspection Private Limited, we support organizations seeking to establish and improve their asset management systems. Our services can include ISO 55001 gap assessment and consultancy. We help organizations understand their current asset management maturity and identify areas for improvement. ISO 55001 implementation support. We support organizations in establishing a structured asset management system aligned with their organizational objectives. Asset management risk assessment. We support organizations in identifying asset-related risks and prioritizing critical assets. Asset management documentation. We support the development of policies, procedures, plans, objectives, processes, and supporting records. Asset management training. We provide awareness and professional training for personnel involved in asset management. Internal auditor training. We support organizations in developing competent internal auditors capable of evaluating their asset management system. Internal audit support. We help organizations identifying gaps and improvement opportunities before external assessment. Certification readiness support. We support organizations in preparing their management system and objective evidence for independent certification assessment. Our approach focuses on practical asset management, risk-based decision making, life cycle thinking, and control improvement. At last, conclusion. ISO 55001 is ultimately about one important question. How can an organization obtain maximum value from its assets while balancing performance, cost, risk, and sustainability throughout the asset life cycle? Effective asset management is not simply about repairing equipment after it fails. It is about making better decisions, better investment decisions, better maintenance decisions, better risk decisions, better replacement decisions, and better long-term business decisions. For future, for manufacturing plants to utilities, infrastructure, transportation, energy, oil and gas, water management, and many other asset-intensive industries, ISO 55001 can provide a structured framework for improving asset management. If your organization is looking to implement ISO 55001, improve asset performance, strengthen risk management, optimize maintenance strategies, or prepare for certification, URGS International Certification and Inspection Private Limited can support your journey. For more information, contact URGS International Certification and Inspection Private Limited. Our email ID is info@urgsiso.com. Our mobile number is +91 7359458455. Consultancy, implementation, training, internal audit, certification support. If you found this video useful, please like the video, share it with your professional network, and subscribe to our channel for more videos on ISO standards, asset management, quality, compliance, auditing, certification, engineering, and professional training. Thank you for watching. This is URGS International Certification and Inspection Private Limited. Maximize asset value, optimize performance, drive sustainable excellence. See you in the next video.